I have found my new favorite crochet hair texture. It's giving big, juicy, bouncy curls just in time for the spring, and this hair is too cute to just wear once. So of course we're gonna make a wig so we can reuse it. And if you wanna see how, let's get into it. My girls over at ISEE Hair sent me 4 packs of their Burmese curly feather crochet hair in 18 inches. So I want to see if I can make it work for my new flip over crochet method wig situation. I love a miracle knot look, but an actual crochet hairstyle takes a long time to install and to remove, and I don't got time for that. So I'm making my second custom crochet wig. And this is she. I can already tell I'm gonna be obsessed with this hair texture. The shine on this hair is beautiful. Like, it's so shiny. I can tell it's very tangle resistant for curly hair. You can just tell if you wear hair a lot. I am a little nervous with only having 4 packs for this technique, but hopefully we can make it work. So I whipped out my handy dandy wig head and we're about to try to make this happen. So I got this cap. It is by Kiss, I believe. I'll link it down below, even though it's not my favorite. I'll also try and link the one I used last time. I like that one a lot better. It had additional like boning almost, whereas this one only has structure around the outside. That one had seams down the middle as well. It was a great guide to use when crocheting the hair, knowing like how to space everything, and it gave the cap a little extra structure, whereas this one is a little too stretchy, but I was able to make it work. Now, if you're going to do a ponytail with this style, or you plan on doing a ponytail with this style and having leave out, I would go ahead and space the hair a lot closer along this back section. I personally don't have no intentions on wearing this particular texture in a ponytail, only because I have to heat style my hair to blend it. So realistically, I'm not about to do that. So I have a little wiggle room as far as my spacing. So with this first pack of hair, I'm crocheting it in almost a brick pattern, trying to put the next row laid in between the previous row, if that makes sense. So it looks nice and full, and I'm spacing each piece of hair out maybe 3/4 of an inch to an inch. We're working with limited hair right now, okay? And I don't have time for no discrepancies at the end. So I'd rather stretch it out now and go back and fill it in if I need to, but it turned out fine actually. So now we're on to the second pack, and I'm making my way up the head, walking fast, okay? And I'm keeping that same spacing, and I know right now you're probably looking like, girl, it's not gonna cover, but trust me. We've still used less than half the hair, and it's all gonna come together in the end. Just trust the process, okay? Now for the third pack, I'm gonna use this to fill in this entire little bald spot area at the top, okay? But the spacing now is gonna be about 1/2 inch. Slightly smaller spacing, but not super tiny. And again, this is just the third pack. We're gonna trust the process. And even I was a little worried at this point, okay? I was a little shook. But then I ended up here, and this is only 3 packs of hair. And it looks like we're finished, but we're not. I'm gonna use that last pack and go in and fill in any gaps, mostly along the front hairline and the top crown area, because that's where we need the most fullness for the most coverage. We don't want our little crochet pieces out in the street. And now that all of the hair is in, I can finally breathe. It was enough, we made it work. So far so good, but we still need to see what it looks like on my actual head. Let's go ahead and wet the hair down so we can get into the styling of it all, and we can really see what these curls give. I think that it's one thing to see the hair coming out of the bag. It's another thing to actually wet the hair, style it, see how the curls reshape themselves. And the hair out the pack was so pretty. I'm not gonna lie, at this point, I was kind of anticipating what the curls would look like with a little product, a little razzle dazzle, if you will. So I wet everything really thoroughly, and then I went in with this Cantu Shea Butter detangling brush that I love for my wigs and my natural hair. I will link that down below as well. But it does a really good job of detangling, and it's a cute little size, so I can travel with it. I literally take it everywhere. Get you 1 or 2 girls, because somebody's gonna steal it. It's a really good brush. Now, in order for these curls to really pop, I want to give our little half wig some shape. So I'm grabbing all of the hair from the crown of the wig, that top like U section, and over directing it going straight up. If I really want to get a precise cut with curly hair, I like to do it wet because it's just a lot more easy to manage. And I'm cutting 3 to 4 inches off so I can get our top layer, and I'm gonna connect this length all the way around the sides. So once that top layer falls, I get to use it as a guide, and I'm going section by section, starting at the point of that top layer, opening and closing my scissors at a 45-degree angle, just so the layers are nice and even and clean all the way down. And we done already put in the work to make the wig, and we want to be able to reuse her, so go ahead and take them layers around the back, girl. Let's not be lazy. I'm talking to me, not y'all, because I will do a face framing layer and call it a day real quick. And so far the cut is cute, but I want a little bit more of a shaggy, super duper layered look in the front. So yes, we have our layers all the way around, but I'm cutting 2 pieces in the middle relatively short, and I'm going to use this as a guide for the face framing layers in the front that I want to be way shorter than our layers all the way around. I want that like circle look in the back, and then some really cute, almost bang type layers in the front. Just trust me, it comes together. It comes together. And take your time. Take off a little bit of hair at a time. Go over a section as many times as you need to, but don't quit. If it's not exactly what you want, keep going. Just take a little bit off, a little bit more, chip away at it, because a lot of the times I'll stop on a cut before it's exactly what I want it to be, and I never really come back around to it. So you kind of got to go for it, but just do it a little bit at a time, so in case you make a mistake, you have enough wiggle room to correct it. But girl, cut that hair. Go for it. Enjoy the hair. Style the hair. We don't have to just take it out the pack and wear it and put it back in the bag and put it back in. Like, that's no fun. Play with it. Give her a cute little cut. And pro tip, when you take your hair out, put different lengths of hair in different size sandwich bags. So if you cut layers, put the short pieces as you take them out in a different little baggie. And that way, when you go back in to install your hair, it's already pre-separated. So it's not a big deal. Cut it and you can still reuse it. Now for styling, y'all already know I keep saying I'm gonna try new products, but this one has me in a chokehold. I'm sorry, not sorry. The Dew Foaming Lotion has the perfect hold, but it's also light enough to where if you kind of scrunch the hair, it'll get rid of that like crunchy curl cast. I just love this product. I'm applying this throughout the hair, brushing it through one more again, and then we're gonna let her air dry on a towel. Let her chill out, let her hang out. And once she's dry, I went ahead and added a comb in the back. I thought about sewing this wig on, but I sewed my last one on. And for this one, I kind of want to experiment with combs so it's a little easier to remove and put on. So I've already sewn a comb into the back. I got these from one of my other ISEE wigs. They send like little extra accessories with each item, so that's clutch. I'm just gonna sew another comb into the front of the wig. And it was perfect. It gave me a little security along with the elastic band around the wig, but it was also super easy to remove. Now for my braiding pattern, I have 1 anchor braid going all the way around the perimeter of my head. And then I have 6 straight back braids in the middle, connected in the back as flat as possible. And that's it. My edges are already slightly straightened because I was wearing a kinky straight wig before this. And I'm ready to see 1, how this wig fits, and 2, if I like this curl pattern after I style it. So I'm starting off by placing the comb in the front, placing everything like so, like that. And then I also adjusted my comb in the back. And she was pretty snug. I wouldn't necessarily go to like a Pilates class, but she may be yoga proof. You know, she may be able to handle a little down dog situation, possibly. But don't hold me to it. Add a couple more combs if you're going to be doing some strenuous activity, but she's cute for an everyday situation. She also fits like a glove, and I am indeed smitten with this hair texture. The curls are huge. It's like super curly, but the curls are big, like almost as if it's on a big flexi rod type situation. Gorgeous ringlets. I love them. I love them. I love them. Super shiny and very full for 4 packs. Would I have been mad at 5 packs? No. Am I mad at 4 packs? Also no. But we got to blend these edges. I can't look at it no longer. So I'm gonna go in with my pencil wand curler and just hit the edges, give them a little ringlet situation. The curl pattern on this hair is quite loose, so unless you have maybe like a 3B, 3C texture, you may be able to get away with a twist or something to blend it in. But for me, I had to hit it with a little heat, honey, to get it to really, really blend how I want it to. And I didn't burn myself. That's exactly what I get because I'm supposed to be keeping heat out my hair, and look at me, wand curling away in pain. My hair is perfectly blended and it's cute though, so a win is a win. But we got to fluff these curls out. The texture is gorgeous, but I need some volume. I need some je ne sais quoi, okay? So I'm taking my fingers, loosening the curls up, kind of shaking everything apart so the curls can naturally like loosen without getting too frizzy. And then for the star of the show, I'm gonna go in with my pick and really get into these roots, pick everything out, and this is what really gave it that volume that I needed. It separates the curls really nicely. I don't know how it works. I don't understand the science, but I have been really into picks lately for styling my curly hair, and yeah, they're kind of that girl. I get it. The 70s were on or something. Also, I went back in with that detangling brush and kind of back combed throughout the roots just a touch to give it a little texture in the roots and really help to hide those knots on the feather crochet as well. We want this to give natural, so we want to cover up those knots as much as we can. And I'm about to do my baby hairs, and I'm not gonna argue with nobody else in the comments about it. Okay, I'll put respect on the No Baby Hair Gang's name. I understand it is very demure of you. I love that. I love that for you. Personally, me, I'm gonna put a baby hair on it every time. I'm gonna give minimum 2 swoops every time. Now the severity of those swoops may vary, but they will be in the building. That's just me. And that's just me. I don't want to be judged. I'm not gonna judge nobody. I'm on my business. So let's keep it cute. This is the finished look. I love her down. I truly do. This is going to be in heavy rotation this summer. I love the hair texture. I actually want to try this texture again on braids or maybe even twists. Like, this hair texture is gorgeous. I wonder if they carry it in colors. I don't know. Give me some recommendations. What style should I try for the springtime? I know y'all want to see the locks and I got some of those videos coming, but what else? Like, give me some inspiration, please. I love you guys so much. I hope that you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, babes.